Welcome back to Real Talk with Mr. Anonymous. It's your boy, the one and only Mr. Anonymous, coming back at y'all for another podcast. Man, the last podcast was lit. It was jumping. It was banging. It was the shit. I appreciate y'all love and support, man. Y'all really came through on that last podcast. I appreciate everybody downloading it, going to listen to it, subscribing to it. Again, y'all, I'm on iTunes. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Real Talk with Mr. Anonymous. I'm on YouTube, man. I'm on Spotify. Man, I got a link in my bio on Instagram. If you go to Real Talk with Mr. Anonymous on my Instagram bio, the link to the Apple download is in there, man. I appreciate y'all, man. All love and support, man. I'm going to keep going strong. I'm going to keep giving y'all this raw, real shit that y'all ain't getting, man. Again, we going to get into the best damn 30 minutes of your life as we always do, man. So much to talk about, man. So little time, man. So little time, but so much to talk about, man, y'all. Man, it's the NBA season has kicked off and started, man. That's first on first, man. I'm a huge NBA fan, man. Played basketball through high school, a little bit of college, man. That's just the season started, man, and that's all I've been doing was watching basketball, man, watching hoops, man. What a great time to be alive right now, man, in sports, man. So much is happening, man. We're gonna get into some sports news, like I said. We're gonna get into the NBA, and we're gonna get into the season that just kicked off. I think 10, 11 games have gone so far. We're gonna get into some NFL news. We're gonna get into what I think my Super Bowl pick is already. I already have a Super Bowl pick, and we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into some things that Tank said on. I believe he was on lip service with Angela Yee, and he said some little bit of a what you call them thing. So we're gonna get into a little bit of everything, man. Yeah, we got a good show for y'all today, and we're gonna keep it packed. We're gonna keep it moving. And as y'all know, it's been a struggle to try to film this podcast, man, because my computer was down, so I've been having to do it from my phone, so I haven't been able to add all the elements that I want to my podcast, but we're going to keep it moving anyway. We're going to keep the pressure. We're going to keep stepping on their neck. That's what we do. So we're going to get into it, immediately get into everything, man. NBA news, NBA season just kicked off. Golden State, trash. Now, I hate that Steph Curry broke his hand the other night, but they were trash before Steph Curry broke his hand, period. They trash now. Even with Klay Thompson coming back, they're still going to be trash. I don't know, that makeup of that team, they had their run, and that run is over with now. That run has came to an end, but they did some great things in that run, and kudos and shots to them for winning 3 or 4 titles in the last 5 years. But now it's time for a new era of basketball that is coming again. All my Golden State fans, I sincerely apologize for the broken hand of Steph Curry, but you guys were trash before that, and I told you guys that. You were trash before Steph Curry got hurt. It's just what it is. But we hate that happened, man. And the NBA season, like I said, is approaching, and we getting a feel for some teams. And okay, looking at some of the new duels and matchups, and the late show. We got to talk about the late show with Bron and AD. This wouldn't be Real Talk with Mr. Anonymous if I ain't talk about my boy Bron. 17 season in the NBA last night, or the night before last, in a triple-double versus the Mavs. 38, I think 10 and 12. Washed up. Who washed up? Where about he washed up? Like Lil Duval said, where about he washed up? Nah. LeBron's still, man. LeBron's still one of the best players in the NBA, one of the best players the game has ever seen. I didn't say the best. I said one of the best. So I need y'all to get y'all facts straight when y'all be coming to my page and saying, oh, you said. I said he was one of the best. I didn't say he was the best. That is up for debate. I said he is one of the best. So the Lakers have a lot of work to do, man, but I like the way they're rounding and shaping up. I do think they need maybe another shooter on the perimeter other than Danny Green to hit some shots, because nobody else really ain't hit no damn shots but Danny Green. So they need another shooter, I believe, and I believe a good pickup for them would have been Jamal Crawford had they had got him to come off the bench on that second unit. That shit would have been 5 for him. 5 for him if they could have got Jamal Crawford. But I don't know. Nobody has picked Jamal Crawford up. I don't understand it. He's like a walking double-double, 20 and 10, like Lou Williams. So I don't understand why that man don't have a contract. I don't understand why anybody hasn't signed him. He keeps to himself. So like he comes and do his job and go the fuck home. I don't get it. Shout out to Jamal Crawford, man. Been balling for a long time. Love his game. Always been a smooth player, man. Always had much love for him, man. Lakers. Genie Bus, maybe that's something y'all might want to look at, to boost that roster. Y'all need some other chips to boost the roster. You gave everything up with AD. You gave everything you had up when you got AD, so you need to boost the roster. So I don't know. Y'all need to be looking to make some moves before the trade deadline. The trade deadline, I think we have a very, very long time. It's in February, so there's a lot of time to work out kinks and see where you're gonna be. But in the meantime, Lakers, you need to keep your eye on some prospects and some talents to see where you can go with this, because in the way that you are currently constructed, from what I see, you're going to need more than that to win the chip. That's just how I feel. You're going to need more than that to win a chip. But we'll see how the season round up. It's still early in the season. We don't know. We don't know what the season is going to be. The Clippers are looking good. That's even without Paul George, with the addition of Kawhi Leonard. You boosting Paul George in the next month, the Clippers might have a slight edge, I think, right now over the Lakers. I think that I like them a little bit better right now. Even though I'm a Bron fan, I like them a little bit better as far as their team is constructed even before they got Paul George and Kawhi. They were in the playoffs. So I think they have a good tandem going on there, and there's something to build on. And when you get Paul George back, that might be a game buster right there. So that's how the West is looking. I always been a fan of Portland, Dame Time. I love me some Dame Time, man. CJ McCall. I love what they got going on there. Rodney Hood. Collins. I think Collins, their center, broke his arm or something. So I like what the Blazers are doing. I like where they headed, man. I've always liked them, man. They've been pretty consistent. They just need to take that next step, and maybe another piece would possibly take them to the next step. In the East, in the West, we also got Denver Nuggets, which still look formidable and very good this year, coming off of that great year they had last year. And they will be a problem to deal with. Please believe it. They're not a pushover. They're not a slouch. Whoever gets them in the playoffs is going to have a tough time. So that's what I see in the West. And you got the Rockets, which I'm not so sold on the Rockets. James Harden and Russell Westbrook. I'm not sold on that a tandem and how that's going to work out. It is fun to watch, but I don't know if it can translate into them winning games. I don't know if it can. Well, let me rephrase that. I know it can translate them into winning games, but can they win playoff game? Can they win series with that? I don't know if they can go to the finals with that. With that dynamic they have there, but we will see. Like I said, it's still early in the season, man. It's a lot to watch, man. I'm super excited about the season. There's so much to watch, and we'll see what happens from here on out, man. And very, very excited about that. And then we switch over, and if we want to go to the East, man. If we want to look at the East, man, I don't really see anybody that just stand out that's just looking like they just burning it up right now, really. Boston looks pretty decent. You got Toronto Raptors look pretty decent. Boston look pretty decent. Toronto Raptors look pretty decent. Milwaukee looks pretty decent. It's nothing to write home about, It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to get excited about in the East, other than Kyrie busting their ass right now. My dog, my partner, Kyrie is busting them right now. If we had a kind of glimpse into a little bit of MVP conversation, gotta throw my dog Kyrie in that bitch, man. He is balling without KD, and when KD come back, it's a wrap for the East. When KD come back next year, it's a wrap. If KD looks like 75% of what we know KD can do, it's a wrap for the East. They got the East on lock when KD come back. You heard it here on Real Talk, Miss Anonymous. I'm telling you first, when KD come back next year, if he is at least 75% of his old self, it is a wrap for everybody else. You might as well go ahead and let them go to the finals, period. So very interested to see how KD's progress is working out when he's coming back. I'm interested to see that, man. That's going to be a great dynamic there, I believe, with him and Kyrie. We're going to see if Kyrie can adjust and tweak his game. I believe he can. He did it when he was with LeBron. There is no difference with KD. So I like that matchup in Brooklyn with Calvin LeVert. I talked about him earlier, I think last year. Young man came from Michigan. I liked him, what I seen in him in Michigan. I knew he had a lot of talent just looking at him. That's one thing that you guys maybe not know about me, man. I have an eye for talent, man. I spot talent in basketball. I can see it. I can vision it when I see somebody play like, oh yeah, he cold. Yeah, he gonna be cold when he get to the NBA. And I know Carver LeVert was gonna be cold, and he's proven to be cold. So, shout out to Carver LeVert, man. I like his game, man. I like him coming back from that broken ankle last year, averaging 18. I think he's averaging 20 now. I like his game, man. I like their team, and I think they will be the contenders of the NBA Finals and who you would have to go through for the coming up years when they get KD back. This is what I believe. Everybody else is so. So we'll see how that rounds up, man. And that's some of the basketball news that I got for y'all, man. Just excited about some of the beginning news, and just hey, looking forward to the rest of a great season. Now we're gonna get into some NFL talk, man. A little bit of movement going on, nothing major. Nobody majorly got traded. But shout out to my dog Josh Gordon. Keep on finding a way to keep his name out there, man. Keep on finding a way. Seattle Seahawks picked him up. Major pickup for Russell Wilson, man. Shout out to my dog Josh Gordon, man. I mess with Josh Gordon, man. I feel the struggle that this man has been through, man. And just to see him keep on pushing on, man, it's a great motivation for perseverance, because he had all kind of issues and had been kicked out of the league various amount of times, and he keep coming back and putting work in, and keep coming back and putting work in, and keep trying to make something of himself and continue to feed his family. And you gotta respect that at all costs when a man do that. Much respect to that. When a man do that, and you see that this man is really trying to put his best foot forward, then that's why he keep on getting these chances, because the man clearly has a good heart, and that's what these teams are looking at. So hopefully he gets in Seattle, and hopefully he makes some noise, man. I will be tuning in, watching Josh Gordon. Been a big fan of him for a long time. I always root for the underdogs. I always root for the troubled, checkered past guys that trying to get themselves together, man. It's nothing better than seeing a black man that has came from something and has built itself up into something else, you know what I mean, to try to be better. So shout out to Josh Gordon, man. Hopefully he has a great season, and hopefully he gets another contract from them or somebody else next year. He could continue his football career and keep on taking care of his family at the end of the day. That's what it's about. Now, this next story, man, I want to report, man. I found it a little bit funny. Jamal Allen says GM Joe Douglas went behind his back to shop him after he asked him not to trade him. I get it. You know what I mean? You ask him not to trade you, but it's business, bro, at the end of the day. I'm baffled by some of these athletes and how they act like there's some kind of loyalty to this shit. It's no loyalty to this. It's at the top, is the head top of all of these owners and guys that own the team. Not one NFL owner is black. Point blank, bottom line, period. Y'all know how I get down. I'm going to tell it like I tell it. I'm going to tell it like it is, and I'm going to tell it how I feel it is. And it's a business at the end of the day, and the only thing you good from is what you can do at the end of the day as a black player. If you run the ball, if you can defense, if you can pass, whatever you plan on, what side of the ball you plan on, it's a business. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care. Ain't no loyalty in this shit. It's business. It's no different than any other job you work at, and you tell them, you hear you about to get fired, and you tell them, and you walk into your job and say, hey, I would love to stay here. Hopefully you don't get rid of me. And they fire you, and you get mad because they fired. It's business, bro. It's business. They don't care nothing about you. They just trying to do what's best they feel for their team. So I understand why these guys get it all fucked up and think it's something else than what it is. It's business at the end of the day, and all they're going to do is whatever it takes to fuel their business and build their team up in the way they need to build it up. So I understand he might feel a certain way, his feelings was hurt or whatever, but get over that shit, man. That's life, man. We out here in the real world deal with, a lot of shit in general in life, and I'm sure that athletes, just because they got money, they still have to deal with real world shit also. So it's business at the end of the day, and these players need to learn, especially these black players need to learn, it's nothing but business. You only good for what you bring to the table. What can you do for me lately? And that's it. If they don't feel like you're not producing in the way you should, or the way your contract says you should, they gonna shop you and get rid of you. That's the business. That's how it works, young fella. Let's go, young bull. Go out there and ball out so they won't even think about ever trading you again. If they did, you're going to get your bag, even if they do trade you. That's how it has to be looked at, and that's how I hope he's looking at it. I got to go out here and ball the fuck out on him now. I got to go out here and be a stud. I got to go out here and be a gorilla. I got to go out here and do my thing now. So that's how I see it, man. And let's not get it messed up. It's business at the end of the day. And you've been provided a lot of money to do a service, and if they don't feel like you're completing that service, or if they don't feel like you are living up to that contract, they're trying to find a way to get out of it. Bottom line, point made, period. Excuse me, y'all. Especially when a team is struggling. When a team and an organization is struggling, whoever's at the top and all is all going to trickle down. If business is not being handled, somebody's getting their ass fired. So you got to make changes to try to keep your job to make it, hey, you got to do what you got to do. So shout out to Jamal Adams, man. Ball out. Do what you got to do. And try to continue to ball out for whatever your next team, your next contract may be. The other crazy story, man, this is the craziest thing that I've ever heard in the NFL, I think, since I've been watching sports. It was reported the other day that the Steelers, because what is his name? James Conner got injured. Some kind of shoulder injury, might be out, may be serious, not long how long he's gonna be out. But the Steelers are actually looking at reacquiring Le'Veon Bell. Now this shit right here don't make no sense. You didn't want to pay the man, he didn't want to be there. Now you want him back in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform? I'm lost at this, man. Obviously the guy couldn't have been too bad of a guy, and I hate when these stories and these reports come out on guys and they paint most of us, again, I'm sorry, most of the percentage of the NFL is black. They paint us black men as being, or black players as being bad guys. We're greedy, we want money, etc. They always paint us in a negative light. They never paint any other white guys in this negative light. They never paint any other white quarterbacks in these negative light. Only the black players. But anyway, that's another topic for another discussion for another day. But it's interesting that they want Le'Veon Bell back now that he's already signed a contract he's somewhere else. Now you want him back on the team now? I mean, hey, it's business at the end of the day, and maybe that's how they're looking at it. I don't know how he's looking at it, but that was a very, very weird story to me that they was inquiring about trading to get Le'Veon Bell back. I bet he just was like, man, what kind of shit is this? You know what I mean? That's like what I be thinking, like, man, what kind of shit is this? These motherfuckers got rid of me and they want me back now? Anyway, that was the news on Le'Veon Bell. Trade deadline, nothing happened. Trade deadline is come and gone. No deals, I guess, really were worked out. It wasn't any major move made, really, in NFL, nothing of substance. So that's funny. It's funny how NFL goes, and it's funny how the NBA and the NFL is so totally different from each other. The NFL is more of an owners league. The NBA is more of a players league, and the players have more control over it. So NFL, take notes. Take notes. Y'all put more punishment on your bodies and take more risks than NBA players do. So technically, I think guys should be getting paid more than they get. But that's just my opinion. However you work it out, NFL. Y'all need to come up with a better agreement. Your NFLPA, Players Association, you need to do better. You're dropping the ball severely with your players and your guys, and they're very much underpaid in a lot of different aspects as opposed to the owners. So that's something we need to clean up in the future, and we need to work on NFL, getting it caught up and up to speed with the NFL, because without the players, the owners wouldn't be anything. You put money up, but without them, you wouldn't generate any money. It is because of those players that you generate the kind of money that you do generate. So that's just how I feel. If I'm going to put the work in, but you're only going to put the money in, well, then I need to get a bigger of a percentage than you get then, basically. That's in business in general. If me and somebody has a business and he put up the money, but I'm doing all the work, I'm not saying he's not entitled to profit, but it shouldn't be a 50-50 split if I got to do all the work. You feel me? I'm just saying. Anyway, that is our NFL news, and the last thing I want to talk about NFL news is my Super Bowl pick, and you heard it from here on Real Talk with Mr. Anonymous. The Super Bowl will be in Miami in February, and it will be the Saints and the Patriots. You heard it here. Nobody else will make it. It will be the Saints and the Patriots in the NFL, and I think the Saints will take the Super Bowl championship this year. Real talk, Mr. Anonymous. You heard it here first. Don't don't y'all coming. All y'all other networks and NFL Network and ESPN and all y'all other proponents of sports radio, don't come in. Don't come and talk on my pick. I already made the pick already. I don't want to hear nobody talk about my pick I've already made. Super Bowl pick, you heard it here first. Real talk, Mr. Anonymous. Now we're gonna get into a little bit of real news, and this kind of bothers me a little bit, and I don't. And this is what bothers me about entertainment, about media, about being in the limelight. You know, because Singer Tank was on lip service, and he had the nerve to say if you give head to another man more than twice doesn't necessarily mean that you're gay. Let me first say this before we even get any farther out. I know how social media is. I know how people are. I have nothing against gay individuals, men or women, whatever you choose to be in your life. I am completely okay with it. Okay, it's not the point here, but I just want to clear that up. I am completely okay with it, and we've gotten into a world of society where we have to say that now, because if we say anything, they feel like, oh, you have a problem with these type of people, or you have a problem with this. No, I'm just speaking on a topic, and I'm just simply speaking on this topic. I have no problem with gay people at all. I love y'all. Hey, I love everybody. Shout out to y'all. Do y'all thing. It's no problem. But the idea as a man, as a straight man, for you to say or make this reference, regardless of whether it was a point you were trying to make or not, it's a little troubling to me. I'm baffled by it that you would even make those comments, Tank. I'm sorry. As a straight man, those are not comments that you would make unless you don't try something like that before, or something like that has happened to you. That's the only way that you would speak on that. Nobody pulled your leg into carrying you in, or nobody took you to that point where you had to speak on it. As a straight man, I don't understand that concept, because that is something I would never speak on. I don't. He might have made a point. He might have made felt like his point was valid, because him and Angela was on lip service, and they were talking about like men that, okay, like, cheat. Just because you cheat doesn't mean you're a cheater. Just because you cheat once, twice, that means you just made like one or two mistakes. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a cheater. And then he equated that to giving a man head, and to me, that's completely, totally not the same thing, Tank. And this thing I heard about social media, this thing I heard about media, it went all viral and everything, man. And was it his point to try to make it viral because he got an album that's out right now? By the way, y'all go check out that Tank album. I think it's called Elevation, or Relevation, something like that. Anyway, y'all go check out that new Tank album. And I don't know if he was trying to promote his album, and that's why he went to the extreme of saying that like he did, so people could start buzzing on his name and start checking for his music. You know, a lot of things are media ploys these days, and I hate that shit, man. All that drawing buzz off your name and trying to get. I don't mess with that, man. I don't. That's not how I roll. I'm not that type of person. So that I don't know if that's his angle or what he was going for. But people are always trying to get. I want something like everybody wants their name to be viral now. Like, okay, if I'm viral, they'll start looking for me. I don't know. We live in this social media realm. It's so fucked up to me, and so many ways. I'm not gonna get on that. I done spoke on that before. I'm not gonna get on that. Anyway, I don't understand that comment, Tank. Yeah, you need to kind of yeah, you should have left that one alone, bro. You know, because now you got us thinking that as 50 Cent say, man, 50 Cent is a fool, man. I was listening to 50 Cent. I was on his page. You call him Sugar Tank. 50 is a fool, man. For that man, I just want to say this. For that man to be as business minded he is and have so much stuff going on, he finds a moment to be petty quite frequently, and I don't know where he finds the time, man, to be throwing these shots and going off on it, man. He finds the time to be fucking with people, man. I don't get it, man, but he finds the time, man. Shout out to 50, man. It's entertaining to be, look at his stories and on his page, man. He's pure comedy. Anyway, Tank, we ain't gonna need you to leave that alone, bruh. If you say you are straight, now if you say that you're not straight, then hey, that's fine to make those comments. It's okay. But as far as we know, you're straight, right? So if we know you're straight, leave that alone, bro. You're toting that line. So, man, shout out to Tank, man. Got a new album, like I said, coming out. Y'all go check it out, man. now we're gonna get on to this one thing about, now that we've talked about a little bit of NFL, we talked a little about NBA. We got some of that off our chest, little trade reports. Now we're gonna get into our little relationship segment that I always like to do, that I like to bring y'all that real shit. A lot of times this is for the lady audience to pay attention and listen to. Take some notes. I ain't gonna tell you nothing that's wrong for you, man. Take some notes. So, and this is for men and women, and this is something I see a lot in our society today. Like, men and women are trying to force relationships. You know, don't force a relationship. If it's not working, let it go. Don't settle for something that you don't feel connected. If you don't feel connected with a person, don't settle for something just to be in a relationship, to say I am married, or I married this person, or I'm a wife, or I'm a husband, or you know what I mean? I'm in a relationship. Sometimes the best thing is to be by yourself and to be isolated in your own mind. That's what we don't do as a society. We don't take the time to be by ourselves sometimes. We don't always have to be with anybody, especially if who we're with is not who we really want to be with, or we don't feel like they're right. It's a waste of time. If you're with somebody, if you're in a relationship and you don't see yourself being with that person for the rest of your life, it's a waste of fucking time, people. Let's stop wasting time in bad relationships, in relationships that ain't going nowhere, in relationships that we don't want to be in relationships that we're selling in relationship we're in because we have kids, or in relationship we're in because we're being together for a long time and we're comfortable. Let's stop selling, people. It's nothing worse than being in a relationship if you are selling, or if you're not happy, or if you don't feel like it is right. If it is not one of them things, if it's not what you meant to be, if you don't feel like God has placed that person in your life and you're blessed to have that person in your life, let them go. Somebody will come along that is better for you. Keep doing you, keep doing good, keep being good to people, keep believing in God, keep having faith, keep praying, keep working hard. Whatever that you want out of a relationship, out of a mate, they will come. And if they don't come, they weren't for you. They was not for you. So please, people, please stop searching. When you search, you never find what you're looking for. It's the time periods when you're not searching for somebody and you're just saying, okay, I'm just going to do me. And whenever they come, that's the time when God opens up and they bring somebody your way. But if you're always searching for somebody to be with, you'll never find the right person if you're always searching. You will never find the right person if you're always searching. I promise you that. That is something that is a fact. When you are searching, you will never find the right person. When you just let go and let God organically, let it organically happen and let it organically come to you, it's always much better. In every situation I've seen, it's always much better. Keep that in mind, people. That's a little bit of tidbit for me, relationship advice. Continue to be your best self. Continue to be the best you can be. And that person will come your way. The person that's meant to be, it's meant to be. Nobody can take your destiny away from you. Nobody can take your blessings away from you. Nobody can stop what God has for you, period. People, nobody. What God has for each of us individuals, that he's put in each of us individuals, no one can stop that destiny. It is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. Y'all remember that, man. Y'all remember that. I ain't trying to preach. I'm just letting you know it will happen. So a little bit of relationship segment, man, and we gon' I love, man, being on this podcast, man. I'm thankful that I'm able to do this podcast. It is, like I always tell y'all, a dream come true. It is something that I've always wanted to do. Now we're gonna close out, man, and we're gonna give y'all a little bit of an inspirational vitamin for all my entrepreneurs, all my people going back to college, all my people trying to get new careers, all my people trying to get to cross over and go into different businesses and different careers and whatever it is, different gym journeys, and trying to lose weight, trying to gain weight, trying to be more healthier, trying to be more happier, trying to surround yourself with better people, a better mindset, whatever it may be that you're trying to do, man. I want to leave y'all with this, man. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up, man. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your goals. Never give up on what you want in life, man. It will happen for you. I'm a firm believer of that. I believe if you put the work in, it will happen. And I'm starting to see things happen in my life that I put in motion, man, that I spoke into existence, man, and they're starting to materialize themselves. And it's been a long journey, man, but I'm thankful to God for continue to put these kind of put this unique ability, I feel like, in my mind, put this unique ideas in my mind to do different businesses, man. I'm blessed. So y'all, I want to leave y'all with that, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning into my podcast. As always, man, again, you can go follow me on Instagram at Real Talk Mr. Anonymous. The link to my bio is in the bio for Apple, for iTunes, man, Spotify, Real Talk Mr. Anonymous. I'm on iHeartRadio, Real Talk Mr. Anonymous. I'm on YouTube, Real Talk Mr. Anonymous. You can listen to it on YouTube. Man, I'm on SoundCloud, Real Talk Mr. Anonymous. You can also go check out my website, www.podbeam.com/Real Talk Mr. Anonymous, man. I appreciate the love and support y'all giving me, man. Again, man, I would do this no matter what, man. I could do this forever, man. I appreciate y'all. I've been, like I said, it's a dream come true for me, and we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep going. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and we'll bring y'all that more real shit, the best damn 30 minutes of your life. Real Talk Mr. Anonymous, man. I'm out, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Y'all have a blessed, today is Sunday. Y'all have a blessed, productive week. Go try to do something that you've been planning on doing, a goal that you wrote down that you want to do, something that you want to accomplish. Let's start on that this week. Let's push forward. Let's be productive. Let's love on our kids, man. Let's tell them how much we love them. Let's love on our family. Let's go tell somebody we love them that we haven't spoke to in a while, man. Let's just be the best version that we can be, man. God bless y'all. Shout out. Real Talk Mr. Anonymous. I'm out.